Today I'm making chocolate chip banana bread. I am Grammy and welcome to my kitchen. For this recipe, I am starting off with 2 cubes of softened butter, which I'm putting in my handy dandy mixer. Now, I don't know what happened with this particular batch of banana bread, but if you have a better recipe, let me know. But anyway, for this, I use those 2 cubes of butter, and now I'm putting in a cup and a half of brown sugar. And I wanted to make a mention here. You see, I always keep a piece of white bread in with my brown sugar. And this is a tip I got from Papa's grandma. And she told me if I keep a piece of white bread in with my brown sugar will be always soft and ready to use, because sometimes your brown sugar can get very hard if you've had it sitting in a container for a while. But if you use this trick, I don't know what the science is. I'm a science teacher. I don't know what the science is to why this works, but it works. She also said you can also use a whole apple, just dropping an apple in there. But I didn't want to risk having a rotten apple in with my brown sugar, so I just go with the bread method, and it doesn't let me down. It's crazy. Anyway, back to the banana bread recipe. So I'm creaming my sugars and my butter, and then I'm starting to drop in my 4 eggs. And after I get the eggs dropped in, then I'm going to add in my bananas. And I have 5 bananas that were, shall we say, off, which means they have a little bit of brown spots on them, or a lot of brown spots on them, which make them perfect for banana bread. And they were very perfect. I might have been short 1 banana. All I'm saying is this particular batch of banana bread was a little dry after, like the next day when you want to have a nice piece of moist banana bread. So I don't know quite what happened with it, but I have a good fix that I'll show you in my next video of what I used with this. But as you can see, I am using some foil bread pans, and I'm just taking the wrapper from my room temperature butter and rubbing it in the pan, and then I'm adding a little bit of flour to coat that little bit of butter on the inside of the pan, to make it so that the loaves will come out easily. And this worked like a champ. So don't throw away your butter wrappers before you grease your pans with them, because there is just enough butter to do the job. And so that was a good little tip I can pass on. I also, with this bananas and sugar and butter, I'm putting a little splash, probably 2 teaspoons of vanilla into this mix. And then I'm adding the dry mixture, which I believe is 4 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and a teaspoon or half teaspoon of salt. And then I'm adding in the dry mix into the wet mixture, pausing at times for my mixer to catch up, and then continuing to add slowly into the wet so that it's all nicely incorporated. I also would add a cup and a half of chocolate chips. So I'm going to take my spatula on the sides of the bowl and scrape them down so that all of the dry mixture gets well incorporated into the wet. And after I get the next little bit done, I'm going to be putting it into the bread pans. So it looks like I added a little bit more chocolate chips, because when I'm going to do chocolate chips, I'm going to do chocolate chips. I'm not going to shortchange myself or whoever's going to eat it. So we're going to have a lot of nice chocolate chip goodness in the banana bread. So I'm going to scrape off my beater, and then I'm going to pour this mixture into the two bread pans evenly. And then it's going to bake at 350 degrees for about 45 to 50 minutes. And I will test it when it gets close to make sure that I think I used a little toothpick to make sure the toothpick came out clean. And so as you can see, I'm just scraping it out, putting it into my two bread pans. And you'll notice what I do after I get the batter in there is I do tap them down. And you want to tap things like bread, like this is just a quick bread, we call it. You want to tap it down so that you don't have any big air pockets in the bread pan. So this eliminates that. And then I'm going to sprinkle some chocolate chips on top of the loaf. Then I pop it in the oven, 350 degrees for my 40 to 50 minutes. Take it out, and then I'm gonna have my favorite tester Papa test my banana bread.
All right, here we go. This is chocolate chip banana bread, and it's great hot, and some butter on it, and it smells delicious. Grammy, you did yourself well. This tastes really good. Don't forget to subscribe.